Hey, how are you doing, guys? It's about 7 a.m. Monday morning here in New York, and I wanted to give you an update on some of the stuff that I got yesterday in that $30 tool haul. So, this is a pneumatic tool, and at one point I thought that it was possibly a piece of garbage with not a lot of worth. So, the only markings are the oil here, or I'm sorry, oil daily, and on the blade there it says equalizer. So I googled equalizer pneumatic tool, and this popped up, and it's 150 bucks on Amazon, and it's a couple bucks more on a few different sites. Automotive tool, used a lot with glass or whatever. So pretty decent. I don't use air tools. I have a Mac air tool that I've been trying to sell, and this will probably be sold. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. A little dirty, but I'm hoping maybe I can get 50 bucks out of it. That'll more than pay for the lot. So I'd like to be able to test it out. I wanted to show you this Colombian vise again. Now it's a 10-inch Colombian model 10R2A 2. This was part of the drill press tool lot for 120 bucks. And all I've done to it so far is clean up these three sections there. That's it. Took it apart. I'm torn, and I do value opinions. If anyone thinks I should take this apart, strip all the paint off of it and repaint it, or leave it alone, I'm kind of wanting to restore the whole thing and replace the wooden sections there of the jaws with fresh wood. Maybe something really nice and stained, you know. This won't get used. I don't use carpenter vices. This will be more or less for display, something that I like to look at, something that I enjoy seeing. So I just really think this is cool. The original wooden handle is in excellent condition. One side, the cap comes right off. You see the slotted screw. That comes off. The whole handle comes off. It's in great shape. There's no damage at all to the handle. There's a paint mark. That's it. And this is a pretty good sized piece. I mean, it's got some weight to it. It really does. Very heavy. So I just think that's just a cool vise. It was mounted with square head bolts, and it was kind of a doozy getting it out. And when I was buying this, I was also buying the drill press and the bench grinder over here that I've taken apart, and the three motors, the GE there, and the Packard back there. So I was in the process of buying three motors, the bench grinder, the drill press, and the JM King tap and die set. And I had someone with me in the car waiting, and I'm in the house in the basement, and this stuff was, I mean, really strapped down. This was hard to get out. I mean, the guy had the power wire stapled to the rafters. I mean, it was very meticulous. Everything was fastened real well, and you know, the seller assured me that he had any tool we could possibly need, and every couple minutes he'd have to run upstairs and grab a different tool, and it wasn't even the right tool. I mean, it was crazy. So it was an ordeal, and I was trying to rush. So I did what I had to do to get this out, but it wasn't easy. I was very excited. I wish that I had more time there, because apparently there's a whole bunch of other pieces kicking around, and there's a shed and some stuff in it, but I do think that I got the best of it. So there's that. So yeah. Anyways, back to this. It's a pretty cool piece. I'm happy to find out that it has some value, you know. It's not just some $20 Harbor Freight piece. And you know, I wanted to think that it was halfway decent. It appears to be well made and in decent parts. It doesn't feel chintzy. It's got weight to it. So anyways, so the lot that I bought yesterday was, let me show you, this big lot of various sandpapers and a bunch of hand tools, most notably the KD Tools double flaring kit. There was a nice 1/4-inch Armstrong ratchet. This was in there. The Toro, this is the Power Curve 1800, and believe it or not, this is $330. And, you know, it just feels gimmicky. You know those little old Fisher Price kids' toys that you push? That's what this feels like. But I watched a video on YouTube from a guy that has owned one of these for about 3 years, and he swears by it. He says that he's had several gasoline-powered machines, and he will not ever go back to one of them, and wouldn't trade this for one of those any day. He clears out his driveway on the video, and there's like a foot of snow there, and this thing just plows right through it. I got it plugged in. I'm going to give you a little. Hopefully you can hear this. I'm sure you can. But it's got some juice. I mean, this is going to do it. So yeah, I have a regular Ariens over here. I know it's kind of dark, but it's heavy, and it's like sometimes you feel like you're wrestling a hog trying to get around with that. So I just feel like you plug this in and you go, and if it works well, which it appears to work well in any video that I've seen of it, this will just be a lot easier. It just way light. The whole unit, I mean, you can pick it up no problem with 2 fingers. So must have a little electric motor in there somewhere. But yeah, so $30 that you really couldn't lose. I wanted the sandpaper. The hand tools were a bonus. A couple decent ones in there. The KD Tools flaring kit was cool. I had 3 texts from this seller, and they were grainy, and I couldn't make out any of the tools other than the shape and what kind of tool they were. I couldn't make out any manufacturer names or anything. So I didn't know if it was a bunch of junk or if it was something halfway decent. So yeah, as it turned out, there was a couple decent pieces in there. But I wanted it for the sandpaper, and I wanted this because I knew at the very least I could resell this. This is $330, so I mean, I should be able to get $100 from it, but I'm actually thinking that I'm going to keep it and use it. It's just simple, you know? So I'll probably hold on to it. I don't know, I might try to sell that pneumatic tool. Either way, I'm going to get the $30 back, one way or the other. I just don't know what I'm going to sell yet. I'm not a reseller. I don't buy this stuff motivated by reselling it and making money. I collect the tools. I buy the stuff so that I can have the tools. That's what I like. But, you know, there's always something in there that I will never use, and I'm not going to hold on to it. I don't have the space. The garage is just loaded, you know, so I'll sell it. But I'm buying it right to begin with. I don't buy stuff if they want retail or if they are using eBay for a price reference or anything like that. So I buy it right in the first place, so it leaves room for profit, and it's easy to make the money back. I don't want to spend a ton of money if I don't have to, and you know, this is all stuff I don't necessarily need, but I want it. So anyways, the Craftsman vise that I picked up for $20 needed jaws, and I'm in the process of making them as I showed in the other video. It had a couple coats of rust block brown primer, and the top portion of these 3 pieces had a couple coats of Rust-Oleum red, and I'm going to paint the lettering white at some point. So I figure I'll do another coat top side, and then I'll turn everything over and paint the bottom side a couple coats. I've masked off areas that I don't want the paint to get on. Mainly where the metal will touch there when it swivels. The jaws aren't going to be painted, obviously. Any metal area on the inside where there is friction or metal-to-metal contact, I am going to make sure that there's no paint there. I did apply primer and paint to the inside right now because it was a little rusty, and I wanted, I removed most of the rust and I put some primer on. I felt like it was a little bit of a safeguard in that sense. So if there's any kind of friction, I'm going to take the paint right off. I don't think there's going to be. I think mainly it's with the lock nut that the threaded rod threads into. So the handles obviously will be painted. So it's going to be red with the white lettering. And I will definitely keep you posted when this is done. I have a little bit of fine-tuning on the one jaw to get it perfect, and then I have to drill the holes. And then the other jaw is cut out, but it's in its rough form. So a little bit more fine-tuning, some grinding and sanding, and then I'm going to do the holes. And that'll be a wrap on the jaws. So it's coming along. This is halfway decent. This was $50 at one point on Craigslist, and I kind of was interested. It looked like an older Made in USA model, so I kind of got duped. I probably should have looked a little bit harder, but the seller lowered the price to $20. I went and bought it, no questions asked. And when I was taking it apart, I noticed that it says China kind of under one of the tabs there on the base, and it kind of bummed me out, but it is what it is. $20 vise, there's 6-inch jaws. It's decent, so I think it'll be good. So let's see if I can get a shot of this. The drill press, I'm probably gonna have several more videos of this at some point. The only thing that I think isn't original is the, obviously the motor and the chuck. This is a Jacobs Multicraft. I'm sorry, I'm using my cell phone. This is terrible. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm going to get a camera at some point. I'm not going to keep putting you guys through this, but yeah. The Jacobs chuck and the motor obviously were new. Everything else appears to be original. It's a hell of a piece. This thing is very unique. I cannot overstate how cool this is. Just look. I mean, it's just insane. Just look at the wheel. I mean, look at this cast wheel, super heavy duty. This is just a nice piece. But this is weighted down. This cable right here runs all the way through the frame down to the base where there is some kind of weight. And see if I can get it to the bottom out. Yeah, not really. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how that's held up. But I'll show more on this later. I still would love to know value or, anything. I mean, it's one of a kind. There's nothing on it. This is the wire that the guy had hooked up to it. I don't know. That's definitely older. Not sure whether or not I'm going to reuse that. He's got it kind of spliced, like 2 lengths of it spliced together, and I don't like that so much. So I'll probably go ahead and put a new cord on that motor connected to that, so it'll look better. So that's it. I feel like I have so much stuff that I want to show you guys, and I wish I had better quality videos, and I apologize if this is Not the most entertaining or tolerable video to watch, but it's all I can do with what I have right now until I buy a camera. But I'm kind of old school, you know. I don't, not really good with technology. Don't really want to throw $200 or up or more on a camera. But at some point, I think I'm going to have to. So check out this angle grinder. This is part of a lot. John Deere. Looks to me like a Hitachi, but you know, I might say China. I'm sure China or Taiwan, but this thing has held up well. I've used it a ton. I mean, I've gone through several wheels, wire cups. I've actually never had an issue with any of my angle grinders. I have an old DeWalt one that I've punished. Still works great. I have an old Craftsman industrial one that I've punished. I have a DeWalt brand new in the box inside for when I need it, but these are holding up. They're hanging tough, so. See, I got a number of toolboxes down here, kind of the boneyard. These are all going to be stripped down and repainted. Most noteworthy piece is the Park Machinist box. It's got a couple drawers in the front of it. Really nice. So, yeah, take a little stroll through here. You can see my old Craftsman circular saws. Got a pair of them, they're identical. Got the old Rockwell miter box. Then let me show you this. I'll bring it over to the light. Oh, bear with me. All right, let me just clear off a little space here. This is Black & Decker. It's a 3x24 belt. Let's see if I can get it to focus here on the badge. There we go. 7 amp, 115 volts, catalog 434, ball bearing, Black & Decker, made in USA. Runs great. The only thing I've done is I took this cap off. I had a little surface rust and I went ahead and zapped that off there. But I haven't done anything else with it. I'm gonna, I think, fabricate some kind of structure to hold this. I want it to be stationary. But I also have plans of buying a Harbor Freight 1x30. So, but this is part of a tool lot from the flea market. I got it the day that I picked up that big $25 tool haul. I mean, it was like 3 wooden crates full of stuff. And this was, I got this, and I got a couple other things for, it was a total of $12, but it was like a little pile of, the sander, what else was it? I think there was a set of German pliers, an oiler can, there were a few different items, $12. And he did tell me that it runs, and I took his word for it. It's somebody that I see every week, and I've dealt with him a lot. So, but I have tested it. It does run. So it's a pretty nice piece. I like the older Black & Decker. I got a bunch of this stuff in the house. Die grinder, 3 Black & Decker bench grinders. What else? Black & Decker Home Utility Series half-inch drill. So, trying to think if there's anything I haven't shown. I got one of these Craftsman table saws, and I apologize that it's rather dark, but I'm sure you've seen, this is kind of what's been around. 3-peak maximum horsepower. This was like $25, table saw. It's actually the second one that I've owned. I had one that I sold before for $150 that I also got really cheap. But I bought that. I bought that for 25 bucks, and the seller told me that he had a miter saw, and I was like, do you have a pick? And he goes, no, I'll just bring it. He's like, I want 10 bucks for it. So I said, all right, yeah, bring it. So he showed up with the Rockwell. He said, you know what, just give me 5 bucks. Rockwell works. I took this apart and kind of repainted it. I wouldn't call it a restoration. It's more or less just a cleanup. Then we come around here. One other saw to show you. It's an older Craftsman. See that? Craftsman miter saw. This is made in USA. So pretty decent piece. I got that for free from my dad's best friend. Good guy. They call him the Wolf because he's not quite tame. But he gave me this. So, well, that's about it for now, I think. Wanted to give you an update on the Toro and the Air Tool and give you another glimpse of the Colombian Vice. Isn't that just cool, though? I mean, just look at it. But yeah, give me your opinion. If you think I should restore it, let me know. If I should leave it alone, let me know. This will not be used. But I'm on the fence on what I should do with it. So I would appreciate your opinion on it. I think I'm actually going to... Either way, I'm going to wind up taking it all apart and repainting it and adding new wooden plates. So, oh yeah, there's the, that pile there is waiting to get dunked in the electro bath there. Got a big, what is that? That's a Pexto. It's a Pexto, and it's kind of huge. Good sized piece. We got a Pexto. This thing has a wooden handle. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about just throwing this thing against a tree and walking away, but it's a wooden handle. It just looks like a dowel, and it's attached. It's terrible. So, there's that. Let's see what else we got here. We have this that has a handle. That is right here. It's got a little bit of damage on the inside there, but it's old. Yeah, just various pieces here. You know, we got a Coase wrench. Those I was just using to hold the piece. This is an old part of a crescent wrench. I'm gonna clean the rust off another way. I think this is Dunlap, but it's German made. Boom, we got that. This is Pexto, is it? Yeah, that's a Pexto. You can just, yep, Pexto, so got that. And just odds and ends, pieces that are going to be dunked, kind of cleaned up. And we got the outdoor hammers. I have so many hammers. But these are my outdoor hammers, the ones that I actually use. I got about 50 more inside that I just collect. They're, I guess you'd call my nicer hammers, but you know, we got sledges, mallets, hammers, goes all the way down. Numerous ball peen hammers, different sizes. So, you know, you get one in a tool lot almost every time, so these accumulate. Sledges are pretty cool. So, what else? Trying to think. I got my saw collection kind of hanging out up there in the rafters. I'm getting creative on where to put all this stuff. You know, I just don't have space, but I got some clamps hanging out up there. I got those things extra tight because it would just suck to have one of those fall on your head. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, that would not be fun. But there's some pretty cool saws. We got some chains and hooks. This is a pretty cool vintage hook. It's got see those shamrocks there? It's good sized. But I got hooks and chains hanging out there. More C-clamps, levels. We got some extension cords, different clamps. I got some Bessies up there. I got some cheap ones. Come over here. We got vices. We got the motors. This was the first box that I picked up when I started really going heavily with the tool collecting. These boxes actually, all they do is they hold kind of my junk tools, really. I mean, this one has some decent USA made stuff, but mainly the screwdrivers. It just holds a lot of, you know, stuff that I use. I collect tools as well, and they're inside. I got a toolboxes in my bedroom. I'm kind of fanatical about it, but we have chisels and punches, a little bit of everything. This is all sockets. So I'm gonna have a big tool garage sale and off some of this stuff. More screwdrivers, pliers. You know, these are nothing good. If it's good, for the most part, I have it in the house. Wrenches. These are my other ratchets. I did a video of my ratchets from inside the house, but these are just other ones. There's a bunch, all different sizes: quarter, 3/8, half. Junk drawer. The other Craftsman box, you know, we got Allen wrenches in this drawer. More pliers. More screwdrivers. That's really nothing. More wrenches. More wrenches. My file collection. I will take that all out and organize it and show you. I got a pretty good file collection going on. I just don't have time to get all organized. But now that I'm talking about it, I think I might do just that after this video. But yeah, I want to get rid of most of these tools because I don't use them a lot, and they're taking up space. And I need the space. We have more punches. It's just it's insane. I want to show you something here. While we're on the while I'm in the mood to show you my stuff here, I want to show you all these shears that I got. These were all in the farmer's tool lot at the flea market. That was 25 bucks. The stuff belonged to a farmer. I want to say he must have passed away because they ended up with all his stuff and they sold it at the flea market. So kind of sad, but at least the stuff went to me, somebody that appreciates it. Bear with me here, guys. Appreciate it. A little dust action there. Get this crap off the table. Okay. Show you these real quick. And I do have more of these, but these were just ones in that latest lot. You know, some people are into these. You see, these will probably, now that I have them out, I'm going to give these a rust bath too, but I'll go through them real quick and show you what we got. This set is PS&W Company 1819 original. What? Huh. So, yeah. Never heard of that brand, but I haven't really looked at these that much because I was so busy. These ones I think just say, yeah, forged steel. There may be some markings. Maybe I'll hit them with a wire wheel real quick after. But they're kind of cool though. They're curved up like that. All right. What do we got here? That's got a... That's kind of a weird bolt set up there. It's like flush almost. What are these? Okay, it barely says something there. See if I can get that to focus. See that? BS or something or other. It's hard to make out, but those are good sized. What do we got here? This set. Very rusty. I'm gonna have to clean these. I don't see any marking on these. How can I don't understand how that you can manufacture a tool like that and not have any kind of mark on it whatsoever. But I'll look just to make sure. I'll clean it up a little bit. What do we got here? Trion. Do you see that? Trion. It's got a little snowflake shaped asterisk or whatever there. Trion. What? Maybe I will. Okay, so yeah, these are smaller Trion. It's weird. What do we got here? Yep, these are the Crescents. These are pretty cool. See if I can get you a little shot of the model number. Crescent Tool Company. Typical, I think it says 8-inch. What do we got for a model? Okay, there we go. Ah, jeez, I tell you. Okay, so number S48. And these are old. Made in USA. Cool. So yeah, those are the Crescents. If I remember correctly, these are Weiss or Wiss. I'm not sure on the pronunciation of that brand. I have several pairs of tin snips and whatnot by this brand. Yep, there it is. Weiss. Cool. And last, oh, what do you know? Same brand, Weiss Forged. I don't see a made in USA, but yeah. So these will take a rust bath too. Now that I have them out, I'm going to leave them out, clean them up. I'm going to end the video here. This is a half-hour long. If you stuck through the whole thing, I greatly appreciate it. And I apologize again about the quality. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Thanks as always. I appreciate it, and take care. Thanks.